One little cake is fun. One day.
We are here, the WombNiVerse
Yes,
tour with Coach Ajay and Dr. HerbSistah. So today we wanted to do something simple and talk about self-care rituals. And we know that a lot of people think self-care is on one day of the week, but if you're really going to take care of yourself, you have to do it every day, and you have to be
absolutely.
very mindful of it. And Coach Ajay and I talked for a few minutes before we even start this, just to pull out stuff so we can be clear enough to give you good information. And we were just talking. Um, Recently, my phone started acting up and I couldn't send any text. So I ended up having to call people. And I'm telling you, I have talked to more people in the last month and a half when my text was down than I have in the past 5 years, seem like. And people are like screaming when they see your number and answer the phone. I mean, they just excited and happy that you calling them, and the vibes of the energy of talking to people is a self-care strategy, because people appreciate you calling them. They appreciate you taking that time and talking to them. It is a healer, because I've talked to people that I haven't talked to pre-pandemic. How many years is that? We can't even keep up with time since the pandemic happened. But these are the first times that I'm talking to people, and we know that everything is radically different. So we know that being able to talk to people based on all of that, in addition to their regular life, is a healer all in itself. So I want to let
Right.
Coach Ajay talk about one of her self-healing strategies.
Well, I know for me, going through the move of a business and transitioning into a new location, the biggest thing that I have had to do, even though I present it to many others, is get out in nature.
Yeah, yeah,
Nature has been balancing me. It has been bringing me a peace of mind.
yeah.
It's been allowing me to become still so I can think in my soul, not just stay in a repetitious routine like a task, like a job,
Right,
trying to get everything done,
right.
because I had to surrender that I'm not going to be able to get everything done like I want to.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
had to surrender to the divine and say, I got to go with God on this one, because I was I was running out. I was running out of ideas. I was running out of time.
Yeah,
I was just running thin with
right,
trying to figure out everything on my own and trying to figure out how everything was going to go between the new moves, between the old and the new location. I just had to sit down and get in nature so I can hear peace. So
right.
I can hear peace, because otherwise I was becoming overloaded. I was becoming very overloaded, and I was becoming very exhausted. And so I had to apply a self care technique that I present to my clients, that I had to just get still and do nothing. Some days I just had to do nothing because that was all that I could do.
Right.
Because trying to do anything was adding to everything. Trying to do anything was adding to the pile.
Right. I
So
understand.
I just had to pull away from it all and surrender. And
Right.
the way that I surrender is not in the house, because the house I'm going to find something else to do.
Right.
If I go to one of the businesses, whether it's the old location or the new location, I'm going to find something else to do.
Right.
So I had to go out in nature. So there's nothing that I can do in nature.
Right.
I
Yeah.
had to go to the river. I had to go to the lakes. I had to just, sit around, trees, where what are you going to do there? But be still. There's
Right.
nothing for you to do there. They've
Right.
already cut the grass, raked the leaves, and did whatever they was going to do. So you
Right.
got to get there and have a seat, ma'am. Have a
Right.
seat.
And have a drink of water, like the elders used to say.
Yes,
Go sit down somewhere and have a drink of water.
absolutely. And that's exactly what I had to do. And
Yep.
not just 1 or 2 or 3 days, a lot of days.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to do it a lot of days.
Right. I get it. Yeah. 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 I get it. I get it. I do that every day. And now that the weather is changing, you know, I'm wondering, you know, how much am I going to build up to be out there? Because, you know, and and like you must go out there every day, you know? And one of the things too, and as you talk about surrender, I think that is probably the key right here in self-care for most women is the surrendering. Because as I said to you before we started, we're having our big event, the Raggedy Nerves Restored event this weekend. And if you haven't already registered, which I think we're going to have 50 to 100 women, you know, which is a lot of women in
Wow,
Florida.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. We've been working on it though. And women need to get together because when people see that title, Raggedy Nerves, they start laughing, but they get it, you know? They absolutely get it. And I think surrender is probably the topic for today. You know, it's a self-care strategy. But same here. I told you, there's a lot of things that I would like to have done for this weekend, but I recognize that they're not going to get done. And I'm okay with that, you know? And, you know, one of the things that I think is going to be a theme for women is a lot of times, you know, I'm having people over to my house. So a lot of times people won't have folks over to their house because their house has to be perfect. Well, my house ain't gonna never be perfect, you know?
Absolutely.
Like,
nothing ever is.
nothing ever is. But, you know, my garden is a continual cycle and season and change. My house is a continual. And if I'm making it perfect, ain't nobody never coming here because I'm never going to be at that place of perfection.
Absolutely.
And I know that I grew up in a house that was nice, but my parents had a certain amount of house shame, you know? Because people are always thinking, I need to paint, I need to do this, I need to do that. So what ends up happening is I didn't realize that it was this much house shame, but it was, you know? And so they would always say, well, don't have anybody come this time. Let us get the new furniture. Let us paint the walls. You know what? Y'all coming over, it is what it is. You know, there are a lot of things, but that's the only way that I can proceed in life because I know we all need to gather. I know we all need the vibes of talking and sharing and all of that. And we used to do it every October 19th, like we're going to do it now. And I realized that for me to lead in this conversation, I got to be willing to do it too. You know, I have always been willing to put myself out there. And, you know, I have had women who says, well, I got to lose some weight before I talk to people about, you know, being healthy. Well, sis, that's part of your process. You know, you ain't got to wait to lose weight to start talking to people about, you know, a
because
lot of
that
us
also adds to procrastination.
You know what? Procrastination is the death of perfection, and perfection is the death of perfection. You cannot have things perfect and keep moving, you know? So
And you're going to have to surrender to that.
you,
So we got two self-care words that we done talked about. Surrendering, definitely.
yes,
And, you know, not thinking that you're going to have everything perfected. That's what adds a lot of stress, and it keeps us from doing a lot of the things that we need to do or that we want to do because we want it perfect. We want it just right. What is just right? What actually is that? What
right,
does that look like? Because nothing in this world is going to be just right for you to move forward. And
right,
so when we talk about self-care techniques, we got to also start knowing that nothing is ever perfected.
right, right. And everything is in continual flux.
Yes,
That's what life is,
that's
continual
what
flux,
life is, Dr. Eshe.
you know?
Yes.
And so when you able to accept that and say, okay, well, you know what? Come on by. It ain't, you know, it is what it is, you know?
Right,
And I
right.
think that people say, oh, wow, okay. there's some little, dead leaves on that plant. Or she ain't pulled up her tomatoes and stuff yet, or this, or it's a lot of flux. And so,
Right.
I like another self-care technique that I like, and I don't, like I'm saying, it's no one day. We're not talking about self-care Sunday, self-care Saturday. Self-care is every day.
Absolutely. It's a lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Mine is taking a bath every single day in Epsom salt and sea salt.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh. If I, once you start doing that, you realize you got the bathtub for free. It came with the house. The bathtub and the kitchen is like the most important things in your house, but we don't think about that because we use the shower and we look at the bathtub as an obstruction to the shower. It's just a place to drain, but the bathtub is the place, So that's my other self-care technique. And I'll put my last one out there, which is writing in my journal and going even sometimes and reviewing one of the 50 something journals that I've been writing in since I was, in my early 20s, before I really, I had the little flip books when I was like 10 and 11. I don't know where those are, but I got all of those bound books. And sometimes you look at them and you can see the growth and the change. And that gives you more hope for how your life is going, even though you don't see it, And I think that is another big self-care, is to see that the change has been good. It's not as gradual sometimes as you would hope, but it's a good thing, So what's yours?
Yes, yes. I wanted to expound on when you were talking about baths, because
Yeah, go
one
ahead.
of the things that is really astonishing to me is that when I talk and coach women, a lot of women are not taking baths.
No.
A lot of women are not taking baths.
A lot of
And I
women think
tell,
that it's giving them a yeast infection, but I tell them, sis,
yes,
you already had yeast. It's
yeah,
just,
yeast is in the body. It's
it's
not in the
already there.
bathtub.
Yeah,
Unless you're putting something in that, some products in that's intoxicating.
yeah,
But usually yeast is mucus and inflammation that's coming out the body. The womb is purging it, actually, because the womb has to cleanse herself. She
right.
has to cleanse herself. But the bath is for you to submerge your womb in the water, the same way you were in the sac in your mother's womb in water before her water broke.
Right.
So it's for the womb to always be flowing with water. And
Mhm.
so a lot of times when we say we don't take baths, we don't understand what the reasoning that grandmama put us in the tub. Because I know my grandmother, she didn't believe in showers.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of
She didn't
elders
believe
don't
in
believe.
showers. You had to
Yeah.
get your butt in the tub. That's
Every
the
day.
way she thought that you was clean.
Right.
Otherwise, she said, get your
Yep.
butt back in there and get in that tub.
Right.
Washed up, mama. No, you not washing up. You getting
Yeah.
in that tub. That's what you're
Right.
gonna do.
Yeah.
And so I love baths just like you, because it
Yeah.
centers me, it grounds me, it balances me, it relaxes me, because again, I can do nothing in the tub but focus on me.
Mhm. Mhm.
I can't do anything else in the tub for anybody else. I can't do all the tasks and all of the chores and all of that be racing through our minds. I have
Right.
to surrender and be still. So again, taking a bath another art of surrendering.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
another art of surrendering to yourself.
Mhm. That's
And
true.
then the other one is definitely for me, just closing my eyes and meditating,
Okay.
and not
Okay.
not thinking that I got to know how to meditate, because we
Right.
all already know how to meditate. We just
Right.
have to remember, it's just following your breath and quieting your mind, just turning the mind off.
Mhm.
I'm not
Mhm.
thinking, I'm not doing, I'm not trying to figure anything out. I'm not doing any of the things that I used to do. I'm just resting, even if it's for 10 or 15 minutes,
Mm.
just resting your mind. And that is very, very pivotal in our stress
Right.
levels.
I
It actually decreases stress when you just rest your mind 10 minutes, lay your head back, go to your car on break, and just don't turn on the radio, don't take a book, don't do any of that. Just put your head back on the headrest and close your eyes
Yeah.
Just rest yourself. So that is my last self-care tip, because that is one that I've loved for a long time, and I've been welcoming myself into it much more. You know what? Just take a break. Just right
Right.
here, right now, even if I'm in my car, just pull over on the side of the road and just rest my head,
Mm.
because I feel very stressed and very pulled and very pressured. And that's when I know I just need to turn everything off, just like you turn a light off in a room.
Right. 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 One of
Close your eyes and just take a break.
that is an excellent one, because that's what I get in my garden when I do repetitive tasks. So everybody will see it. I have a whole driveway full of mulch, tree mulch, bark and stuff, and I shoveling it into the wheelbarrow, walking it to the space, dumping it, going back, shoveling. It's repetitive task, and it frees your body, your mind, but it gives your body strength. And in my case, because I am very type A, I find that helps me to focus within a meditation. That's what it does for me. Some people can go and sit on the pillow or sit on the mat and do that. Me, I get more meditation out of doing repetitive tasks, shoveling dirt, shoveling something, raking leaves, something that, sweeping leaves out of the driveway, anything that's a repetitive task, because it increases the circulation of blood and energy through the body. It makes me feel alive. And it also makes me feel like, in my own way, that I'm able to get a couple things done at the same time, that I am getting my life more in line with what I need at that moment, you know.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And so meditation, some people get a meditation on crocheting or knitting.
Yeah, there's different forms of
There's
meditation.
different forms
Of
of
course.
meditation. Yeah, yeah. And I used to use the crocheting and knitting one when I was a little girl, all the way up to a certain age, especially growing up in a place where you have to go down for the hibernation. Like you from New York, I'm from Michigan. Once that snow get to a certain point, you can go out if you want to, but a lot of times you look for something to do inside.
Right.
And so that's what I would do back then, is do
And
crochet.
those are just simple, self-care tips that we can
Simple.
all do, like you said, not on a special day. Self-care, taking care of yourself, is not something that you do a special. You
Right,
do it every day. It's a birthright. It's something where you're taking care of your temple, you're taking care of your mind, you're taking care of your body, taking care of your heart and your soul. And we have to, what's happening with, when we talk about disease and sickness, is because we're not doing self-care.
right,
We're not doing repetitious self-care.
right,
That's how disease is able to have the power to attack us, is because we're not doing repetitious self-care. So those are simple things that you can do. Yes.
right. And I think that I'm glad you brought it back around to our purpose, which is to help people empowered to take back their health and take back the way to be healthy. um we can be contacted at WombNiVerse tour at Gmail. Coach Ajay, tell them the address of your new location. Yay, she got a new location.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm still making accommodations, but I'm thankful that God has found me a new space, and it's relative to what I'm already doing. The Bay Studio family has welcomed me in very graciously. Um, but I'm at 1000 White Street, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, 30310, right around the corner from the old sweet spot. I'm not even 5 minutes from my old location. And
Fabulous.
that's a blessing, because that was one of the things I was concerned about. I didn't want
Right,
my clients that been with me for 10 years to have to go through too much just because I had to relocate. So
right.
that was a blessing. And I have access to a space where we had our first chakra class yesterday. So I've
Okay.
always taught chakra classes. We're currently working on the throat chakra and
Yes,
balancing and grounding and centering ourselves there.
you're right.
But you can make still make your appointments for your vaginal detox and your body detox at sweetspotatlanta.com. It has the new address on it. Everything
Great.
has already been changed over, but
Great.
we are at Baya Studios in the West End. It's luxurious. You have to type my name in the directory, the Sweet Spot, to get in, and I see you on camera, and I just
Oh,
tap
yeah.
you and let you in. So it's everything that God wants me to be doing now, and in the
Right.
space now. I think the space had, expired over there at the Met, and we've been there for 10 years, and now everything has to elevate and everything has to evolve. Everything has to change. So I'm welcoming and embracing the change. I'm
Right.
getting, like I said, acclimated and making my adjustments. But
Mhm.
it's been fun, and I would have to say all of my clients, they just love it.
Yay.
They
That's
love it. And
great.
so
That's great.
that
I
was
got
the
to get
gift.
over there. I get it.
Yeah, that was the gift, because everybody's like, "Oh, we love the new, the
Oh,
old space,
yay.
but we love the new space." And
Oh,
so,
yay. Oh,
as
yay.
long as
I got
they
to
love
come
it,
over.
you
Yeah.
know, it's all good. But
Oh,
yes,
yay. Yay. Well, we hope that y'all can come by on Saturday, the 19th of October. Hate to put the date out there like that on here because the information is timeless, but we do want you to come. If you don't come, we'll be seeing you probably starting in February. We're going to start our WombNiVerse tour. And so we'll see you somewhere around in Georgia, South Carolina. That's what we going starting off right now. And then we'll move out to other spaces. If you want to be an ambassador for our WombNiVerse tour, you can contact us at WombNiVerseTour@gmail, and we can talk back and forth on how we can work that out. But we're looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. It's supposed to be a beautiful day in Atlanta. It's only going to be like 72, which is like, yay, And we have massage therapists, and Coach Ajay is going to be doing the sound bowls and chakra, balancing seminar. And we're going to do a grief ceremony, which, you know what, I already can tell you, I'm going to be on the ground.
getting her own self-care.
Right. I'm going to be all over the ground, But so we want you to come and start a new thing with us. And we're going to look forward to, we're going to have all kinds of, bring a dish, bring a chair and a yoga mat. And we're going to have some, tonics and teas and stuff for you. And it's going to be a good time of women getting together and sharing.
Yes,
And
yes,
you know
yes,
what?
yes.
That garden, I ain't been out there in a minute except to water it. Like we telling you, things are transitioning, and them tomatoes, it's going to be some on there. Y'all could eat them. And that's what I do. I water and eat as I'm going through it. So, it hasn't changed over to the fall garden yet, but we looking forward to seeing you. So
Absolutely.
yes, we're going to talk to you then, and come back again, and also make sure you tell people about this podcast and about what we're doing here, empowering women in a social justice way about their reproductive system so that they can take care of their bodies and take care of their families and
Yes, yes, and be here and living vibrantly, healthy, and well.
yes,
Yes,
yes, that's what we're here for. So we love you. We got to love
yes.
ourselves.
Thank
That's how
you.
we handle and take care of ourselves, is loving ourselves. And we will talk to you soon. Have a great herbal day and Ovario.
Yes, peace and blessings.
Yes. Mm.